Can I suggest some techniques to encourage team members to self-organize and take ownership of their tasks? This is an interesting one because, as with a lot of what we do, it's going to be contextual. The tips and tricks that work for you in your situation may not work for you with another team. They might. Who knows? But there's some things that are worth considering. People like self-organization. As a default, we want to do it. Yet, when we look at work, so many people want to be told what to do. They don't want to self-organize. They just want to turn up, get told what to do, and crack on. And probably at the end of the day, go home. They don't feel ownership. They don't care. They could well be in that percentage of people who are considered actively disengaged. Hopefully you don't have those. Okay? But most people are disengaged. Maybe not actively, but they're just at work. They're not motivated. So one of the first things you need to be starting to do, if you're going to talk about self-organizing teams, self-managing teams, they need to want it. And I don't mean some weird, nebulous want. I mean, they genuinely have to want to control their lives. They want to take control at work. They believe that they can, that they won't be punished for doing so. And that last bit is important. Most organizations have taught them that they will be punished for doing so. So one of the first things when you want to bring self-organization or self-management into a team is getting them to understand it's safe to do so. How many times have you worked with a team and they say, you can't do that? And it's a blanket statement. And if you ask why, because they've learned something. We don't work with daft people. So what have they learned? You need to unpick that. Why is it that their default behavior is to not think for themselves? Is to just expect to be spoon-fed? So one of the conversations you're going to need to have early on is, what happens if you get this wrong? What's the danger? What's the risk at play? Because it might be very real, and it likely is very real to them. Whether it's true is very different to whether it's very real. If they believe in the deepest part of their soul that they will get slapped down for stepping out of line, they will not step out of line. If they think their job's at risk, they're not doing it. So you need to build that foundation. Before you worry about anything else, really, you have to have people who want to play the part. You have to show them, demonstrate to them that it is safe to do so. And how do we do that? Well, I'll be honest, fake it till you make it is not a bad place to go. What happens when you, as the Scrum Master, step out of line? Do you survive? Does the organization have a response that is sudden and sharp? You'll find out. And demonstrate to the team, I hope, that it's okay. So you got shouted at, but you got your way. One of my favorite phrases is proceed until apprehended. Do things, see what happens. I've learned over the years, most organizations will not get in the way of effective behavior because there isn't enough of it. They can't risk it. They can't risk their policies and their procedures stopping you being good at what you do because they don't have enough of it. So do the things, demonstrate the behaviors, and if you get away with it, a few people in that team are going to start to believe it themselves. John can do it, so I can do it. I can get away with this. And that's going to start taking root in the team. You're going to develop a culture of trying things out, of doing stuff. And now we've got that. We've got people who want to be here. They want to be self-organizing. They want to be self-managing. They're people who want to take control of their work again. Introducing self-management at that point is quite straightforward. We want to set them a purpose. The role of a product owner, the role of sponsorship, directors, is to give, God forbid, direction. Direction and intent. This is what I want you to do, and this is why it matters to me. Introducing that to a group of smart people. I need you to solve this problem for this reason. We've given them motivation. We've given them a reason to be motivated at least. Now they can start working out, well, how do we, people who have agency, people who act within an organization that may or may not like that, but we get away with it because we get stuff done, how do we solve this? And that is really the heart of self-management. It's not choosing your problems. It's taking a problem and working out what's the right way to solve it together. We want that. We want the collaboration. So our role in self-management is often quite fundamental in the early days. It's creating a space where they believe they can self-manage. Most people have agency. They have within themselves that ability to act of their own volition towards something. They dampen it. Our job as a Scrum Master is to help them understand why they dampen it, and if possible, to remove any of the causes, those obstacles, those limitations, so that they understand could go wrong. But it's worth it because it's the right thing to do. And it is safe enough to act. And once we've got that and we have self-management within the team and it's working effectively, you invariably have a unit that they won't apprehend.